sei se pediram.
This week on the Bedroom Talk Show, we are discussing mental health in the Black community. Don't you think we need to talk about this? With your host, KrewShitOnly, and this week's special guest is Pilar. Stay tuned. You better not go nowhere. What's up, you guys? It's your girl, KrewShitOnly. And this week, if you don't know, we're talking about mental health in the Black community. And I feel like this is a conversation that we need to have. And not even just mental health. We need to talk about people going to therapy. Us. When I say people, us going to therapy. And this week, I have a guest. I went to school with her. And her name is Pilar. She also have a business catering to this topic. So before I even get into all of that and what she does, I want her to introduce herself to you guys.
Hello, everybody. So if you don't know, my name is Pilar. Oh, let me see. So mental health in the Black community is a major thing right now. I'm so glad that it is gaining the momentum that it is because it's needed. Like mental health in the Black community has always been like really taboo. Everybody thought like, oh, going to therapy, you crazy, or that's just that white people stuff. And I'm like, no. Like, you need to learn how to take care of you. And it took me, I don't even know how many years to finally embrace that. So mental health in the Black community is real. Just a little bit of statistics. At least as of 2018, 2.9% of African Americans, which is roughly about 1,100,000 of us, have actually committed or tried to commit suicide. That may not be a lot, but it's a compared to like our white counterparts. So it's imperative that you really learn how to take care of you. You may feel like you're strong and that you can handle whatever life is throwing at you, but in reality, that strong person needs some form of relief as well. So I know for me, I mean, I've had my personal story when it comes to suicide attempts. I've been recently diagnosed with depression last year, which is something that I feel like I already knew probably since middle school, but pride and everything is like, nah, I'm good. But it's something that it needs to be embraced, and it definitely needs to be addressed. A little bit about my business. I started a business with a very, very close friend of mine. She is actually a massage therapist. So we actually created this idea, not just mental health, but more of a form of self-care. So because I have a master's degree from Clark Atlanta in social work, I was like, getting mental health help is expensive, even with these so-called affordable mental health avenues like better health. I don't know about you, but I know I ain't got like no $200 to speak to a therapist, even if it is more affordable. So my goal is to kind of cater and create something that allows your therapy services or whatever to be affordable. So I am working on becoming a licensed mental health licensed social worker, and a licensed clinical social worker, so I can actually fully have my own functional my own practice and everything. But mental, therapy isn't expensive, so that is my goal. So the name of the nonprofit is called Journey to Me, which, I feel like it's self-expressed because you are a journey to discovering yourself, to healing yourself, to bettering yourself. And that's what it's all about. So, therapy sessions, are actually relatively cheap. Mainly it's just me, but, I am looking for other people to partner with or to help out. I think I'm starting like $50 just for like maybe a 30-minute session. My partner, like her massages, I think started like 30 or 40. And she gives like the best massages. So her name is Noreen Benson Stokes. If you need a massage, definitely hit her up. And she has her own business page as well. I also do beginner's yoga. I started getting into that, meditation. And my friend, she also does energy clearing. So we offer a lot of great things, that cater not just to your mental health, but your overall well-being as well.
I love it. I want to get back to the numbers. Do you know 16% a year is diagnosed with mental illness? Do you feel that that number is accurate when most of us don't want to confront or say, oh, we have mental illness issues? Or sometime, I don't know if y'all remember the Soldier Boy, the Soldier Boy girl? Soldier Soldier Boy off in this. The video?
Yes, the Superman
Her.
song. Yeah.
Her. That was we was young, we was laughing, but not realizing that was mental illness, and that was think
Oh
about
wow.
it.
Okay.
She didn't take her medicine.
I
And
remember that now. Okay.
remember everybody thought it was so funny, but when you look back at it, that wasn't even funny. She was really having an episode, and nobody on that train knew that she was having a episode.
Right.
Like,
So
because we don't know the signs. 16%.
60%. I mean, I feel like it definitely can't be accurate because that's such like, I don't want to say a small number, but a lot of us are just kind of like, we just deal with it in private because we are like so used to people. Why are you going to therapy? Or, we, of course, growing up in a Black household, it's like whatever goes in this house stays in this house.
That
Or,
part.
stuff like that. So you can't talk to your parents like, Mom, I am feeling depressed. I am feeling whatever. Of course, your parents going to be like, oh, well, talk to God, do this and this. Oh, your life ain't that bad. You got to move up your head,
Girl.
this and
But
that.
you know what though? That's where the problem starts.
Exactly.
That's where we say, we about to get real deep, y'all. We say in this generation that we're in, millennials, we don't want to raise our kids with trauma. But we have to recognize that we was raised with trauma.
It's like the whole bloodline of trauma that we're not addressing.
Like
From our parents to their parents, their parents' parents. It's a whole bloodline of trauma that has just been building and building and building. And we wonder why, like, our health in general, our mental health is just so messed up because we are taking on the trauma from everybody else.
And we didn't realize it.
Right.
Like how we was raised was trauma filled. Not your whole childhood. Let disclaimer, just certain parts of your childhood was trauma. Like when you think about it, whooping your kid, that's creating trauma. Think about it. And it's something I'm working on. I'm working on positive parenting. And I'm not gonna lie, it is hard to change my mindset when I grew up getting whoopings. But that is trauma. That's creating mental illness in somebody, and you don't even realize it.
Even with me being a pre-K teacher, I have to watch how I talk to these little kids because hey, I don't have my own kids, and even when they do something that is annoying, because they're like 4 or 5 year olds. That those are the
They don't
children.
know. They they
They
they on- they
don't.
only been here
And
4 years,
it's almost like we expect them to already know, like, to not do something. So
right?
I have to watch how I talk to them, and instead of yelling at them, sometimes I just have to, I notice, like, if I soften my voice, that kind of forces them to listen to what I'm saying, which is what I need them to do anyway. It's like, hush, be quiet. So if you just kind of like soften your voice, you
But
don't always
everybody
yell.
needs. Everybody is in my opinion. Everybody's individualized, so you have to
Right.
watch how you raise that person. But
Exactly.
Pilar, before we get too deep, I need you to write your information for we can post it. People can see it. She says she do therapy session for $50. Um, that
Oh,
ain't bad. Just want to throw you out there. And you know what's funny? I've been getting therapy for 7 months, and I
okay.
want to say that I always wanted therapy. Let me throw it out there. When I got to a certain age, I said, I'm going to get therapy and I'm going to talk to my therapist about some certain things. I still have not talked to my therapist about these certain things, but I knew I wanted therapy. And it's crazy to say, oh, here is a white thing. Like
It,
I had this neighbor a long time ago. I thought she was crazy, not knowing that she had bipolar schizophrenia, whatever it's called. She was bipolar. And
right.
she
So
ended
I
up
feel like that's a type of thing that we do as well. We automatically judge. Like, we look at a
right.
homeless person. I mean, granted, I would say at least probably like half of the homeless people probably do suffer from some type of mental illness, whether it's schizophrenia, bipolar disorder, personality disorder, whatever the case may be. But at least about 50%, or maybe it could be a little bit less, or it could be a little more, of homeless people do have mental illness, and we just automatically judge them like, oh, they're homeless, why are you out on the streets, which we don't know their
I
story.
hate how people judge homeless people.
Right. We don't know their
I'm
story.
not gonna lie to you, Pilar. When I was younger, I used to sit down at the homeless, like the park, and
Mm-hmm.
I used to feed like all the homeless people. My job used to allow me to do it, but they told me I had to take off my name tag. That was the only requirement. They would load me up with this big bag. I would walk through downtown, pass out hot food, cold food, whatever,
Yeah.
fruit, all type of stuff. And I would sit there for hours and talk to people. It was this one guy, I can't remember his name. I would never forget him. He had HIV. He was homeless, but guess what he had on his face? A
What?
smile. He was
And what's
happy.
funny, a lot of them do, but like I said,
Right.
we don't know their stories. A lot of them,
Mm-mm.
are veterans. Our veterans too. Like, our veterans go through so much, and they come home and they get treated like crap. And a lot of our veterans also probably have PTSD, but they come home homeless. You know what I'm saying? It's like,
And isn't that
we don't know their
crazy?
story.
Isn't that not crazy? It mental health is messed up because what they seeing trying to fight for this country, trying to some of them end up doing that just to have a better life because where
Right.
they come from, then they come out crazy and they're not getting the services they
Or
need.
like,
It's so
yeah,
much
like what
needed.
we perceive as crazy, but like I say, a lot of them suffer from PTSD. A
Hmm.
lot of them probably, a lot of women probably suffer from maybe sexual abuse over there. Like I said, we don't know, but it's shameful that our vets literally come home to these type of circumstances. So
I
mental
agree.
health is real, regardless, old, young, whatever, because mental health can definitely affect the elderly too. I
It
mean,
does.
especially depression.
Mental health can affect anybody, and
Right.
I'm an advocate for us getting therapy.
Right.
I even told my son's father, I said, hey, whenever you're ready, let's get some therapy because it's important. I feel that it's important for everyone to get there because we all need to heal from something. We're not
Always.
all healing from the
Absolutely.
same thing, but we're healing from something, and we're growing every day. You should be growing as a person. Every day you
Exactly.
should be shedding that old person. That
Yes.
old person should be shedding, and you should be growing and glowing. You see how I'm glowing? You should
Yeah.
be growing
Yes,
every
honey.
day. Like that's just how I
Yeah.
look at life. Like people don't
Yeah. Like
understand,
snakes shed their skin.
right?
Therapy can also be looked at as that, because the more you talk to your therapist, your psychologist. Oh, and there is a difference between a psychologist and a psychiatrist. A psychologist can diagnose, while a psychiatrist diagnosis and can prescribe medicine. So don't get the two mixed up because not everybody can prescribe medicine. Personally, I'm not really a huge advocate for medication unless you just really need medication, unless your diagnosis or whatever you have is more on the extreme or severe side. I'm definitely not a huge advocate of medication.
What
Personally,
about natural medicine?
natural medication, yes, but my therapist actually is trying to get me on medication for my depression, but you got to do what works for you. If you honestly feel like you want to take medication, if it helps, great. Me personally, I would rather go the all natural route.
So
Or
let's back
smoke
a little bit.
some weed and you'll be okay. But no.
I think I about to say, natural medication. I'm talking about weed is a good one, but they have other things, other herbs other than weed. But let's
Right.
back a little bit. You said that you was last year diagnosed with depression, and
Right.
you owning and being an advocate for mental illness and mental health in the Black community. How did that hit you? How did that diagnose impact you?
Um
Oh,
I
I come
wasn't,
with questions. I
yeah,
come for questions.
I wasn't shocked. Because I always felt something was wrong with me, like all throughout middle school, because even in middle school, I would just have like waves and bouts of just random sadness. Um, from a spiritual sense, it could be just me absorbing people's energies around me. But I mean, I just kind of figured like, I don't know, like I just kind of knew something wasn't right. And then in middle school, I was kind of considered an outcast. I really didn't have a lot of friends. I probably was considered weird, probably. But it's taken me up until me being 32. Well, no, 31. I was 31 last year. To actually get a proper diagnosis, be like, okay, this is what's wrong with me. Now, where do I go from here? So it's been a journey because I'm not self-medicating, but I refuse to tell my psychologist, yeah, go ahead and put me on medication, sure. And I don't think I'll get to that point. I mean, that's just me. But whenever I have my bouts of sadness, I handle them how I can. I used to do probably everything in the book, self-harm, definitely. I was close to going back to self-harming. But it's almost like, what is that really going to solve? It's really not going to help my situation. I mean, cutting myself, yeah, seeing the blood and actually feeling the pain, it's going to make me feel a little better because it's tangible. I can actually see it. I can feel it.
But it's only
But
temporary. That's like only a band-aid. That's not really
exactly,
fixing the problem. But my question going
exactly.
back to what you said, because I'm really listening. So you end up, you said in middle school, and I agree. I can tell you that we have very similar stories when it comes to middle school. Middle school was very dark for me,
Right.
but I can't say I was only depressed when I was pregnant. But you said you always felt like you was something wasn't right. So what happened last year in 2020 that made you have the courage to finally go get diagnosed? And what steps did you take then after, before and after?
Um,
And hey, Charlene.
I don't me well having like a real honest conversation with one of my friends. When I say she chewed me out, she chewed me out, but I love her to death really for doing that. And that really made me kind of like wake up, like, okay, Pete, you need to pretty much take care of you. So for those who don't know, Grady does have mental health services. It's on 10 Park Place, I believe is the address.
Are they
Um,
free? Can people
you
afford
can
them? What are
actually
they?
you can actually walk in. You can say, "Hey, I really need to speak with someone." They'll try and get you in touch with someone like right then and there. But then they'll take you to a room. They probably have you speak with someone, just giving them a little detail about like what you're dealing with, and then of course they'll proceed. It's steps. So they'll set you up an appointment, not with a psychologist just yet, but more so like a care coordinator. Um, and then they'll set you another appointment to do the proper assessment. And then the last appointment will actually be with the psychologist. And of course, they'll do their assessment as well. Of course, you'll get, the official diagnosis. And after that, it's completely up to you on what you want to do. For me, I think my breaking point to where my psychologist asked if I want to do medication was I was working. Well, anybody who knows me knows I'm a hustler. I always work 2 jobs. I've always known to work 2 jobs, plus going to school. Those who know me knows that I'm in school right now for my PhD program, which I don't want to say I regret because I'm very happy that I even got this far. But the PhD program, especially at Clark Atlanta, is no joke, like whatsoever. So me trying to get all my classes plus working 2 jobs with 0 breaks, I literally almost had a mental breakdown, and I literally had to take a small reprieve from one of my jobs. And I told my psychologist, like, yo, I need you to recommend me taking like a week off because I can't do this. I'm going crazy. Please. So they're like, oh, well, I think, you should be on medication. I'm like, no, I don't want to do medication. But
I wonder why they always push for medication. My therapists have not pushed me to be on medication. But you said something.
I mean, big pharma is a business. They get paid if you're on medication. Plain and simple.
It's sad, but you said something. So my question is, how you feel if somebody say, "Well, girl, you work too much. That's why you're depressed," or the people that are going to say something negative without even having any education behind it.
I mean, people are going to talk. I mean, my grandma says I work too much. Okay, that's me. And if I'm the cause of my own mental breakdown, then it is what it is. But I mean, I'm not going to stop doing what I do. I enjoy working. It keeps me busy. And honestly, with me working so much, it kind of stops my mind from racing. So me working is almost like an escape from a lot of stuff that I think about a lot.
I can actually understand that, and I can see it's my depressing them just putting themselves into everything that they don't have to focus on them. But
Exactly.
my question is, since you working on being a therapist, how is that healthy when you push it off and you're not really working on yourself?
From a therapist perspective, it's not healthy.
Therapist, it's not healthy.
It's really not. It's not. It's not healthy. So
we have a comment.
So happy to hear about you guys' journey. Thank you, Charlene. Oh, that's so sweet. Thank you so much. I appreciate it. But
Lola said you got to do what you got to do, but
yes, ma'am. I mean,
you have to put yourself first.
You do have to do what you got to do. But in all honesty, those that brag about team 2 jobs, team 3 jobs, whatever, that's not healthy because you're gonna burn out really, really quickly. You're going to have your mental health is going to start to slowly decline.
Yep.
Drastically. And I
agree
because like I said, last year, like me working at Benihana, I did doubles at Benihana mainly on weekends. Then I work at the daycare. So on this end, I love the babies I work with, but it's like Miss B, and then Benihana over here. And then me showing up in class, we were virtual, almost like a zombie. And I'm like, the entire class period, failed my statistics class. It was a lot. It was definitely a lot. It was a lot, definitely. So you do have to take care of you. And from a therapist's perspective, it's not healthy because you don't want to burn yourself out. You don't want to wreck your mental state. because you need adequate sleep to be in a good mental state. You need to eat right. And if you're working so much, of course you're not going to eat right. You're going to draw yourself to unhealthy foods and stuff like that. So how are you going to keep your mental health good if you're doing all of these things to keep your mind from whatever is going on?
It's funny. I used to always work 2 to 3 jobs too. And I'm not gonna lie, it does a lot to your body. And ever since I stopped and I only work one job, I'm so much happier. Now my money used to be good, but now I'm like, okay, I feel better.
Yeah, you miss the money, but it's kind of
the
like
money. I feel like your health is more important. Your health is way more important, and that's something we lack in the Black community is putting our health first. And I know I'm talking about this a lot on the platform. Self-love is very important. That's for men and women. Self-love don't just stop with women; it goes for men too. And that's why I asked you that question. Like, how is that healthy? I know it's not because I do it, and my therapist tells me, Crystal.
I mean, honestly, I love my people. I love my generation because right now we are the generation that is really team fuck that job. Like the moment a job got us messed up or starts stressing us out, we will leave a job completely. Like, no. So I'll
tell my job I need a mental break. I need a mental break. Like, y'all doing too much. Mental break me, please.
Right. So that's why I'm happy about this momentum of everybody. It's like pro mental health. It is getting momentum that it needs because we ain't about to let our job mess us up like that. No, our health, our mental health, everything is way more important than some money. It is.
I literally just told somebody on my job. I just say, I feel like my health and my son is way more important than a job would ever be. They said, really?
They're going to replace you if something happens to you anyway. So
yes, that's true. You want to my next question. How do you cope with stress?
How do I cope with stress? I have a very good support system. I know I get on their nerves. They know who they are. I know I get on their nerves because I do have my moments where my depression starts to kick in just a little bit. But I feel like having a very, very strong support system definitely helps a lot. Don't surround yourself with people who get tired of you venting about the same thing over and over again, because with depression or mental health in general, sometimes it is going to be the same thing over and over and over again. But with my support team, it's like, okay, I hear you. I allow you to vent, but what are the next steps? You do have to have a plan or a solution after you vent, because you can't just keep venting and venting over and over again about the same thing with no real solution. Now, once you come up with the solution and you put that solution into motion, that is solely and completely up to you. But having a strong support system that is going to be there, that's going to allow you to be vulnerable and help you through whatever it is that you're dealing with. When I told my friends that I just got recently diagnosed with depression, it was no judgment. They were just like, okay, we kind of already knew this, but what do we need to do as your friends to really be there for you right now? So I think that's the main thing that helps me deal with stress, having a great support system. Music, those who don't know, I do write poetry. I've been slacking, but I write. That's kind of been a release for me. Music, whether I listen to it, to whether I write a little something, that helps me. And I mean, weed helps sometimes, but that could be considered self-medicating. But no, mostly that's literally how I deal with stress. But do what's best for you. I mean, there's various avenues that are healthy to deal with stress. So all those things definitely work for me.
Okay, my next question for you is, how do you plan to inspire the next generation to understand that mental health in our community, when I say our community, I'm talking about the Black community. I am very pro-Black on my platform. I want anybody to know that.
Me too. Absolutely.
And so how do you plan to inspire our next generation that's looking up to us?
I mean, like I said, I have my nonprofit, so hopefully that will, get a little buzz. It's like, hey, we can't.
Not hopefully it will. No. Not hopefully. We have to change our mindset. Speaking into existence, for God can hear us and God is listening. Not maybe.
It will get the buzz that it needs, but
okay.
So they could be like, we can no longer use the excuse that, oh, therapy is expensive. Yeah, it is, but there's something out there that kind of makes therapy not so expensive.
You know what we
Um,
need to know? More resources. It's so many
that's true.
resources out there that
It is.
we as melanin
Yeah.
kings and queens don't know about. When I tell you I'm in these autism groups and it's funny I bring this up and they like what? I'm like, yeah, it's a resource, baby. You didn't know that? Like, and I'm like, you know what? I have to understand that we as kings and queens
What's
don't know
What's
anything.
funny? There's not a lot of resources for more so Black people, so to say. I've noticed that there's a lot of resources that are like easy for our white counterparts to kind of have, if that makes sense. I don't really see a lot that's more geared towards us as well. I don't even want to say Black people. I mean us of the
It's
colored
okay.
people. You
Color
understand?
people, black people, we're all the
The
same.
black,
The,
the
the
Hispanics,
minority,
the
it's
Indians, like
okay.
all of us. You know what I'm saying? There's not a lot of recesses like for us because we are the most underprivileged, so to say, when it comes to resources, when it comes to adequate healthcare, when it comes to a whole lot of stuff. We are some of the most underprivileged people when it
You
comes to
know,
all
I
of
I
those
can't even argue with you on that. I was trying to think, but we could do. We can get an ally in that race, become their
things.
friend, learn more for resources, so we can bring it back to our people, and then we that's how we educate. And the reason I say ally is because I actually do that. So I am not, when I say pro black, I want to clarify that. I am not racist. I love all races. But when I say ally, I do try to get into different color groups to learn, different race groups to learn their
Right,
resources.
right.
They know more than me. Like,
Of
yes,
course. Right.
like I be learning so much. I be like, okay, girl, thank you, girl, so much. And go back to my community. And I tell
Right,
my community about the resources I have learned because
right.
that's what it's about. Um, you have a question. How do you cope with negative thoughts when the past creeps in? Any activities or books you enjoy? That is a really good question, Charlene.
It is. For me, I meditate. Meditate. I'm not gonna lie, when I first started meditating, it could be scary because your thoughts like become so loud and prominent and it's like, whoa, that's a lot going on in my brain. Okay. But once you work on how to silence all of your thoughts and just focus on just silence and everything, and it's not so bad. I try and meditate. I don't always do, like I say, I try to meditate at least 10 minutes a day. I have a singing bowl. If you don't know what a singing bowl is, it's just, well, I have like a really small bowl, and it has like this little metal, I don't know, stick with it, and you just go around and it makes a very beautiful white noise. And it's actually kind of peaceful.
I
That's when
love my singing bowl. It is.
right.
I
It's nice,
meditate with
isn't
it.
it? It's real
It's
nice.
amazing. Oh my god, y'all! It's like a bowl, and you just
Yeah,
that's
that's
it.
all it is. It's just a little, so you can hold it
Amazing.
in your hand and then you just do that. So
I
yeah.
got it since I joined yoga. That's what
Hmm?
made me get the singing bowl. Yoga made me get it. And
Oh
I
yeah.
heard you say, do you teach beginner yoga? Are you a yoga teacher?
I I can. I mean, I'm doing beginner's yoga myself, so I mean, I can teach what I've learned, but I'm not a yogi. I don't know everything there is to yoga, but
Okay, so the name of your business is called Journey to Me.
it
So my
is.
question when you say Journey to Me, the yoga, is that a part of your app or
Yeah, it is. It
okay.
is. Yeah.
Okay. So how does it feel being in a practice that is mainly white dominated? And I'm going to say that because I'm going to say that
No, you're
because
fine.
when you look at pictures, when you look at social media, you look at the hashtags of yoga,
You
you
see a lot
mainly
of white
see
people.
a white, beautiful face, and you don't see this beautiful melanin skin doing
Yep.
yoga. And when we do yoga, it look like it's kind of taboo or it's hoochified when the white person did
Oh
the
no, what the
same
white people
pose.
do is what the white people do
Yeah,
is hippie. It's cool. It's
right.
namaste and
But when
everything.
we do it, it's like, oh. she's doing too much. And I say that because I'm a yogi. I'm a black yogi. And when I see pictures and hashtags and people sharing other yogis,
Most of them are white, yeah.
I barely see us getting shared. So when you got into this practice, how was you in like your mental health?
No, I mean, I kind of saw the same thing you saw. I was like, when even looking for like psychologists, I would prefer. Well, thankfully I have a psychologist that is black. But I would prefer a psychologist that look like me. I mean, not to say that our white counterparts are bad with what they do. I'm totally not saying that. But
Speak on it. They're not bad.
You can't relate to my struggle. That's how I feel. You can't relate to my struggle. Can you relate to your mom being on drugs and pretty much, leaving you to live with your grandma? Can you relate to that? I don't think so. Can you relate to being sexually abused, when you were younger, or having your first instance of knowing that men view you sexually when you were like in middle school or going up to high school? Can you actually relate to that? And how that makes you feel as a child, knowing that men look at you like that? I mean, I don't think so.
It's disturbing, honestly.
Right.
And when a child is mentally, I don't know when to go into this episode. When a child is assaulted, do y'all know that trauma lasts for a lifetime? And do y'all not know it's hard to get rid of that trauma?
It is, and that's why it's called PTSD, post-traumatic stress, disorder. So, I mean, the first time I was a sophomore in high school. That was my first time that I can recall it being sexually assaulted. But then I think back in middle school, I just remember there was like this one teacher, I can't remember his name for the life of me, but he will always greet me and hug me. And y'all know, I'm sure, those who have seen me and met me, y'all know I'm like short. I've always been short.
She's almost a midget, y'all.
Hug me, he would like bend down and his head would kind of be like where my is. I didn't think nothing because I'm a little kid, but I remember my grandmother saw it because she walks me in the building and whatever. So I know at the school, of course, as a black, grandparent, she's like, don't ever let no man, hug on you and touch you like that, yada, yada, yada. And I remember I never saw that man again. I never saw that teacher again. So
that means grandma wasn't playing. Shout out to grandma. But Charlene, I had a question for you. Her question is, where are you from? I can answer that for her, y'all. Atlanta. The A.
A. No, but yeah. Bro.
We both from the A.
Yep.
She went to Doug High.
Yeah.
Ash Girls for life.
Always and forever.
We bleed black and gold. Y'all don't understand. But
I mean, and I'm a CAU alum. Shout out to my CAU alum. So watching. Shout out to CAU. Panther Pride Nation over here. But anyway, yeah, like it's like that sticks with you forever. So dealing with all of that,
it's just when we talk about this, I just really hope people understand. I know we're goofy. I'm super goofy in real life. FYI. Right. So, but this is a serious topic, and I'm trying to go through each angle. I made sure we talked about the mental illness, the mental health. We talked about therapy. We talked about the cost of therapy. We talked about yoga. Yoga is actually, I want to encourage every black person or anybody of color to try yoga. It is amazing.
I mean, there are some positions.
I'm not consistent,
that you look
but I love it.
Anybody even try that? But no, like honestly, it's
even meditating 5 minutes a day.
Yeah, it makes you feel better. Trust me.
Even meditating, like you guys, like when I sit down and I meditate, I just let go of everything, and I just be in my moment.
Like one of the places where I love to go, to get just a breather is Cascade Nature Preserve. They have this water. They have the waterfall there, and sometimes
I love that place.
Yes, so sometimes you just need to be there. It's serene. I went there like last week with one of my friends, and it was a minute since I've been there, but it just felt nice to be, in nature and be in tune with nature. I dip my feet in the water. That water is cold. I ain't even gonna lie. I
I
don't really
love
like
it.
cold
You see
water.
all the offerings in the water and
Mhm.
everything. Yeah, did you see all the offerings in the water?
I actually didn't even pay attention to all the offerings that are in the water, but I didn't bring my crystals because I would have cleansed them. But
You know
yeah.
what? When I was younger, when I used to be mad at people, I would go to Tanya Park,
Mhm.
and I would sit over there where the rock and the water is, and I
Mhm.
would sit there and just like write or listen to music. And now that I'm older, it's funny. I still kind of do that. Like if I'm upset, you can wherever the closest like lake or whatever, I'm gonna be there writing with my feet in the water, trying to meditate. And I've been doing that for a long time, and
Yeah.
it really helped with my stress sometimes. And I had some more questions for you, unless my viewers had questions for you, my roommates. If you watched my show more than once, you are now a roommate. You now live with me. So FYI.
What's up,
Okay.
roommates? I'm kidding.
Right. So my question is, I had them already up. Do do do. Now this about to get deep. I'm sorry. What is one thing you love about yourself? I know you said you were battling with
What is
depression.
one thing I love about myself?
About myself.
Ooh, child.
It shouldn't take that long, Miss Therapist.
My determination.
I
I'm a
was
very
gonna say that
determined.
about you. Your determination not to give up. You press this. Girl, my speech is not where I need to be at,
It's
but
okay.
I love how you just keep going. The word is in my head, y'all. I can't get it out, but I love how you just keep.
Perseverance. Got
Thank
it.
you. I couldn't get it
Oh, yeah.
out. Thank you.
But I mean, yeah, I'm a determined person. Most people may see that as, oh, you're just a perfectionist. I mean, that could be it, but I feel
I
like
get
I'm
it.
just
I get that a lot too. People tell me that all the time. I'm a
yeah.
professional. Now I'm low key am a perfectionist. So me working on that. I'm trying not to be so perfect. Like
I mean,
and
yeah, I mean, it's no such thing as being perfect.
no
So
such things. I have to like okay. I have to let my vision of what I want it go to
right.
live in the moment and
Yep.
let things go. My next question is: I know we talked about stress, but
Mm-hmm.
what are your favorite ways to depress me? Like, what are they?
Naps. Naps
Naps?
are life. Naps are life.
Naps are life? Okay.
Naps are life. That's one way I like to de-stress. Because when I'm feeling overwhelmed, I'm like, yeah, let me just take a nap. Or maybe because I'm older, it just naps are just life right now. But I don't know. But naps is one of them. Like I said, I write. I had to get back to writing poetry because one of my friends asked me like, "So when are you coming out with book number 4?" I'm like, "What? I ain't even planned. I mean, I've been planning book number 4, but that hasn't even like been in my
I
mind.
have to buy your books.
I mean, they're on Amazon.
I know. I have to DM you. I don't really support Amazon, and I have books on Amazon. Look,
Ah, okay, makes sense.
I support Amazon, but I'm talking about the author side. That's a whole nother conversation.
Oh, okay, okay. No, that makes
Yeah.
sense.
Yeah.
Um,
I don't even realize the artists don't get paid off Amazon. We get pennies, but that's a different conversation.
yeah, yeah. I mean, yeah, because I know. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's a totally different conversation. But
Yep.
writing, napping, music. That those are like the 3 main things that helps
Okay.
me decompress. So,
All right. So let's get back into this mental health. You ready?
mm-hmm.
What are 5 tips that, from a therapist point of view, what are 5 tips you can give somebody right now going through a mental breakdown, need mental help, need therapy, but they don't know what to do. They don't know where to start. What are those 5 tips that you would give them today if they was to, and it's free, like there's 5 sources. It can be resources. It can be whatever. 5 tips you would give somebody right
My
now.
5 tips is one, just know that no matter how dark it is, the light is coming. Just plain and simple, no matter how dark it is, the light is going to come. I have to tell myself that all the time. No matter how dark it seems, like stuff could just be going absolutely wrong, but sometimes things have to go wrong for everything to get put back together. So that's number one. Number two, if you don't have one, get yourself a support system, a real life legit support system for real. Because you're gonna need them. Plain and simple. Like if you don't have one, find your tribe, find the people that have no problem loving on you, regardless of whatever it is that you're dealing with. The third one, create a plan of action in regards to where you want to be in life. Whether it's a short-term goal, write it out. Put it on a sticky note, a notebook paper, place it on your mirror, your wall, somewhere. It could be affirmations. It could be a short-term goal. It could be a long-term goal. Write it out. And if you really want to take it a step further, notate what steps you're going to take to accomplish at least one of those goals. That's number three, because I've started doing that as well. Number four, self-care is a must. I don't care if you just get your nails done. It's self-care. Have a spa day. Treat yourself to dinner. Treat yourself to whatever your favorite food is. Don't overdo it, but do something that that makes you feel good. And my last and final one, celebrate even the small wins. If you're having a depressive episode, celebrate the fact that you got out of bed. Celebrate the fact that you had the strength to take a shower. Celebrate the little small wins in your life. Trust me, that will definitely go a long way. For real. Just celebrating the small wins. You don't have to wait till something major happens to be happy or to celebrate it. Celebrate your small wins as well.
Alrighty, so I decided to type them as she was going. So let's go over them. The 5 tips that Pilar just gave you guys is number one, the light is coming. Let's go and elaborate on that. Number one, don't get depressed. I'm not gonna say how to feel, but it's light at the end of the tunnel. That's number one.
Exactly.
Number 2, get a support system. Your support system don't have to be your family. It can be friends.
It really don't, because sometimes your family can be the biggest reasons why you're depressed in the first place.
They can be toxic. Sometimes we grow up in a toxic environment and we don't realize it.
Exactly.
That's number 2. Number 3, create a plan of action. So that can be goals, affirmations, like she said. That could even be you writing a business plan for your life.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay? Number 4, which is my favorite, self-care is a must. I put yourself first, because sometimes we lose ourselves. Even when we become moms, girlfriends, wives, sneaky links, all of those above.
Sneaky links.
Sneaky links. We put ourselves first. So, like one thing I'm trying to do is put myself first by keeping my hair done, my nails and feet done, and these arch
brows,
girl. It's coming. I just gotta figure out my time. My time is so limited. It's just anyway. And number 5, she put I wrote celebrate all the wins, even the small wins. Yeah. You know what? I think it's cliche when people are like, you gonna celebrate all that, girl? Celebrate it.
Why not?
You got your hair done and you haven't had it done in 5 months.
Celebrate it. I'm gonna bombard you with a whole bunch of selfies.
Celebrate it.
Right.
You just got your nails done. Celebrate it. You just quit your job.
Definitely celebrate it.
Go get a shot.
Had a divorce or broke up with your man. Celebrate it.
Celebrate it. You have a toxic relationship, a toxic friendship. Celebrate it.
Right.
Why not? So I love your tips. I had to type them because I wanted people to actually see them, and I want to go over them with you. The name of your organization is called Journey to Me. What made you pick that name? Is it because you feel like everybody in life have a journey? And
so me and my partner, we had a meeting, and we just went over like all of these different names, and Journey to Me just felt more appropriate because we all have a journey to healing. Like my journey to my healing is definitely gonna be different than yours and this person's and that person's. So Journey to Me, like I said, it's self-expression. You're finding or creating a journey to your real self, your best self, your healthy self, you know. So,
Say that again. You're creating a journey to your healthy self. Let me
yes.
tell you, you guys, therapy right now is not fun. It was fun the first 7 months. Now she's
Oh,
getting
girl, like my first therapy session, I started crying and they didn't even really ask me no questions. I'm like, what is wrong with
girl.
me? I'm crying already.
She getting deep with me now. Like she, and I'm like, what? What? You my paid best friend. I get to tell stuff, and I can
Well,
you
oh, you
can
get deep right now. Hold on.
and
Hold on.
look.
Am I ready
You,
for that? No, I'm
and
kidding.
look, you cannot legally tell nobody anything. So
Well, yeah,
you
that's true. You legally can't. So,
so I'm like, when she got deep on me for the last 2 weeks, I'm like, what is wrong with you? Are you okay? Said no, Crystal.
I
It's
mean,
time.
sometimes you got to get to the nitty gritty. So they gonna get deep with you. They are.
She has
They
been.
gonna get deep with you.
She
So,
been getting like she ain't playing with me. Like
or I
I'm
mean,
gonna tell you.
in the spiritual sense, therapist is almost like forcing you to do shadow work on yourself. Shadow work
Okay,
is like going
I'm
through.
gonna be open with y'all right quick.
Yeah.
Do y'all not know my therapist is making me write a eulogy to my old self? I gotta have a funeral on
Ooh.
Friday.
Ooh, hold on. I kind of like that idea. Hold on.
I
I
got
like
a
this
funeral. I gotta attend my funeral on Friday
idea. To your old self, though.
to
So
myself.
to
And
your old self,
when she
though.
said it to me, I was like, "You playing?" She was like, "No, Crystal, it's time for that Crystal to die. She's dead. Everybody who was part of that life that is not healthy, they're dead.
Mm.
And you want to invite anybody to this funeral?" I was like, "So
Like, I
there."
mean, we would have a mannequin that looks like, we would have like an actual funeral, like a coffin, and like a mannequin that looks like me in this coffin. Like, how are we
Girl,
doing this? I
girl,
have questions. I have so many questions. But no, that's
I
good. That's good because, like I said, it is forcing you
it's
to
forcing me
look
to
at
let go things.
yourself. Yep.
It's forcing me to let things go. It's forcing
Yep.
me to be like, okay, Crystal, I need to work on this. I need to work on this. This part of
Yep.
me has to go. And I'm
Yep.
like, okay, Miss Therapist,
Yeah.
you ain't my best friend anymore. I don't like you.
Yeah.
So
But
yeah,
it has to be done. It has to be done.
it
At
has to
some
be done.
point, it definitely has to be
At
done.
some point, I have to grow up, and at some point, I have to
Ooh.
recognize certain things and certain ways of mine is childish. And
Yep.
if my therapist is watching that, please be easy on me this week, okay?
I mean, but no, for real, like at some point, even sometimes we gotta recognize our own toxic stuff as well. Because I mean, I can't say that even in my friendships or even relationships that I've been
The best person.
the best person, right? Like I
I have
can't
toxic
say,
ways, and I didn't even know it
right.
until I sat back and looked at them, and I'm like, and now she's forcing me to do this eulogy and this funeral to myself. I'm like, wow. Then on thing she asked me to do though. But I'm live. I can't tell all my work.
But I mean, no, I mean, I think that's good. I
It
think that's
is. I
yeah.
recommend my therapist any day of the week, but she's booked and busy, y'all. So I can't recommend her right now. But if you've been watching the Bear and Tall show, y'all have already met my therapist. That's the one that be live on here. The therapist.
Oh, okay, okay.
That's her. She don't play no
Oh.
games, man. I love her, but whew, this eulogy to myself, honey. You should see my program. I just got
Who you guys singing? Who you guys singing at your funeral?
Chris Brown.
Lord, not Chris Brown.
I was like,
Ooh,
what? I gotta do the whole program. I haven't even finished the program yet because I'm like, do I have to really create a program? And she said, yes, sis, you do. I was like, okay.
you got to create the whole shebang. Yep.
But with that being said, oh, we got a comment coming in. Somebody laughing at me. Charmaine,
Oh,
I'm
okay.
serious. It's like I have to do a whole funeral to myself. Like, I have to dress up to be part of this funeral. Like, what?
Because we're all black. Yeah, you do. You going to the funeral.
When I really die in real life, I don't want anybody wearing black to my funeral. I do not want a funeral. I want a party. I want a celebration of life. I want
I
to be
like that.
cremated. I don't want to. I do not want to be buried. Do
I
not
thought
bury
about that
me.
too. Because I really think I would prefer to be cremated than
I actually
buried.
have my reasons on why I want to be cremated, because when you think about how much it costs to have a funeral and all that money, I my son deserves that money. So burn me,
Right?
That's like
They're
under
giving some money to
that's
your
under $2,000, and throw me a big party. We're all white. Have a party. Celebrate my death because I'm not on the earth no more. I
right.
have spiritually left, and that's
Yep.
the end. Like,
Yep.
bye bye. See you later.
Exactly. It's I'll see you later.
Yep. But
Basically.
girl, no, I don't want no funeral. Um, it just for this right here.
Oh,
Thank you for loving
Shirley!
today,
Thank
bedroom
you.
talk. I really appreciate it. I tried to bring guests on here that would make us think and guess have great conversation. And I'm so happy that you was able to find my podcast a couple months ago, and just welcome. And I'm just so happy that you are loving the content that I'm giving. I'm happy that you're loving the black queens and kings I am bringing on this platform to introduce their businesses. So I really, truly appreciate the support that you come every week. I appreciate you.
Oh.
Yeah, Shirley come every week.
Oh. Yeah, I popped in a few times. So
I
I
love
see you
her.
doing your thing. So.
Thank you. Does anybody have any more questions for Pilar? Because I have to get ready to work out at 8:30.
Okay.
Yeah, girl, it's mandatory. I told her I'll do this every day. I mean, for 8 weeks, I can't miss no classes.
Ooh. Okay.
She be killing me, y'all. Oh, thank you. If you buy them, just let me know. Don't buy them from Amazon, please. I request. I only like people to buy it from me, and you can go to Amazon and do the review. But I don't like when people buy from Amazon because I have not seen a check for Amazon yet. Yeah, Amazon is.
I'm not even gonna lie, I haven't either. I don't know if people are just not buying them or what,
Now
but
people
yeah.
are buying them off Amazon, and I'm not seeing money
Really?
from it. No. So I don't want people to buy the book on
Oh,
Amazon. I don't see money. Like my book is on Walmart.com. Any, we ain't gonna talk about that. Mm. Just buy directly from me, everybody. If you buy from Walmart, please let me know so I can track something. But please buy from me. Okay. Alrighty. If nobody have any more questions for Pilar, I'm going to say thank you for watching the Bedroom Talk Show. I'm trying to wait. Cause I know sometimes you guys come in late with the questions with her. Today episode is a recap, was about mental illness in the Black community. But you did say something that triggered something. You know what I hated growing up in a Black
right,
household? What
right.
happens in this house stays in this house.
Huh. All of
I
us know
think
that
that's the most
saying is
toxic.
funny because that's not fair.
It's not fair, and I think that is the most toxic, most traumatizing thing to say to a child or someone who's saying, I need help. I'm not okay."
I mean,
And
not
you're
even that. It's like when it comes to molestation. Oh, my brother's touching me. Sweep that up on under the rug. Like we're not gonna talk about that. No.
we're not gonna talk about it.
Oh,
Like,
Uncle Bobby is touching me. We can just go boop, boop, sweep that on up under the
and,
rug.
and you still have to see your predator. That's another
Yep,
issue all of the
yep.
time. And
Or
I
there are
think it's
some
sad.
parent who's a boyfriend, husband, or whatever that be touching on them, and they would rather believe they man than their child, and I don't like that. Mm-mm.
Shirley, the only Facebook groups I have is it's a lot. Sewing groups that I have not been active in, and autism group that I created for people who of color or people who have any color in their family to get help and resources and band together. I have not created a Facebook group for the Bedroom Talk Show. That's a great idea.
Good,
For
yeah,
season 5, I probably will do that. Season 5,
do
I'm
that.
I'm gonna do that. So
Yeah.
I like that. I'm gonna do that season 5. Season 5. Oh no, girl, I know you black. I can tell. I just oh,
She's like, I'm black girl.
I know she black. I just always tell people that my group is for because I'm not trying to S out other races. It just I'm want people to understand that us as black people, we have to band together. We
We
should
do,
support each
absolutely.
other. And when I say support each other, I mean actually supporting each other. Like I hate seeing black on black crime. It's a lot of things I don't like seeing.
I
But
mean,
me,
here's what gets me. I mean, with a lot of killings and stuff, it's like, oh, what about black on black crime? We are aware of black on black crime. We're totally aware of this, duh. But I mean, you don't hear them talk about white on white crime, but white people kill each other.
girl, don't get me started. I ain't even gonna.
That's a
That,
totally
this
different
not
conversation.
even the lie for this. I have so much to say to what you just said.
That's I'm like that's
I have
yeah.
so much to say. Like I'm going to say, I was in Savannah, right?
Mhm.
And at the bar was a lot of white counterparts. And I don't know how me and this white man got in this conversation, but he told me that it's more black cops killing white people. I looked at him and I had to like really like what? And I was at a
Yeah.
Heights.
Okay.
And
Okay.
I work for
Yeah.
Heights. I couldn't get too rowdy because I'm on whatever. I was like, what? And he was like, yeah, look at the numbers. And I said, you know what?
Okay. So where's your proof? Where are the
I
statistics?
was like, you know what? I think you drunk. And he said, no, I'm not. I had a couple beers. I see you had a lot of beers to say that to a black woman, but you got it. He said, yeah, it's really no color. I was like, you're the problem.
So I hate that statement. I don't see color.
And he told me he don't see color.
That's just a real
And
underlying
that's
way of
the
saying that you're
problem.
making
That's the
racist. No, baby.
problem. That's the
No.
problem. And I was like, you know what? I'm here on vacation, have a good time. I'm not trying to get political with a white person. Today, I just want to get drunk at this ball and I just want to drink my martini. And that's
Nah,
all
they
I
would have
want to
got
do.
the right one with me. I'm like, excuse me, there are more black cops because white people.
I know.
No, I would have asked them to really show me proof because I need
I
those.
did. He couldn't. He told me to Google it myself, and I haven't took time to do it because it's irrelevant. Because I don't
Right,
believe it. I don't believe it. So
right.
that's why I don't believe it. I was like, I don't believe it. But you guys, I hope you guys enjoyed this episode. We have one more episode for the Bedroom Talk Show for season 4, and season 5. You guys, I hope you guys are ready. I'm gonna announce it very soon. I had to work on my promo and my all my stuff for it. I am taking a 2-month break. I will announce the date that I'm coming back. I am taking a 2-month break, y'all. 2 months. I'm like, okay, 2 months break, and maybe 3, depending on everything I'm trying to get done.
You gotta take
But
us now. Ain't no
I
rush.
am excited that season 5 is gonna be the staple for the Bedroom Talk Show. My
Ain't-
goal is for it to be picked up by BET or MTV or somewhere big. So that's what I'm going to say.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes. So season 5 is gonna be bigger. Just be ready and just tune in. And with that being stated, you guys, this was the Bedroom Talk Show. And Pilar, you have anything you want to do to end this episode? Anything to say?
No, girl, just thank you for having me. I hope I did shed a lot of light
You
on
did.
mental health. I hope my story with my mental health journey inspired others. Like, it's okay to not be okay. It really is. It's really okay to not be okay. But at the end of the day, you got to do what's best for you. You got to take care of you.
You know what's
So,
crazy? I know we're ending, but I had a friend to always say that. And I'll shout out to
I
TC.
mean,
She
but
always say it's okay not to be okay. And it
it
took
is.
me a
It's
minute
okay
to
to not
get
be
there.
okay.
It
So
took me a minute to get there.
if you guys have any questions about my business, my Facebook is literally my name. Well, it's Pilar L Jewel MSW. I'm not hard to find. Trust me. If you guys have any questions or want to know how to book, I have an app. It is called Journey to Me. Website is www.wix.com/my name. That should bring it up. Or you can do Journey to Me, Wix, wix.com/journey to me. Or got any questions, just feel free to inbox me. I have no issues answering whatever questions or responding. So
And for people listening to the podcast side, it is wix.com/PILARJEWELL. And I want to make sure they understand that on the podcast side, it's wix.com/journey spelled the correct way. To
Yep. To
me.
me, Tome. Yep.
Y'all, that's it. So if you can't find her, y'all know where y'all can find me, and I can give y'all the information. Maybe listen to the podcast size. I'm gonna drop that link below, and once you see that link, you can click it. With that being stated, you guys, it was the Bedroom Talk Show. Thank you guys for watching, but I gotta go work out and get this situation on. Bye, y'all.
Bye.